What's going on, guys and girls? It's Ghost Robo, and welcome to Fallout 76. Yes, we're playing Fallout 76 super early. I've got hours of the game, and here we go. We're starting from the beginning. It was crazy to get to play this early in West Virginia with Pete Hines watching. So much freaking fun, and I know the anticipation has been building, so we're gonna get right started. I've got a lot of content, a lot of videos. I'm going to show you a walkthrough. I'm going to show you super cool stuff. We're going to get to see multiplayer and grouping up. We're going to get to see solo questing. You're going to get to see leveling up and perks and PvP. So I'm bringing you over an hour of gameplay, a huge first video for this absolutely epic game. Let's see what it's all about, and let's see what it's all about, with a ton of action, a ton of info, a ton of gameplay. Also, I'm going to be giving away a copy of the game and hopefully beta codes as well. I should be able to get my hands on those for all of you. So leave a like and let me know in the comments down below your favorite Fallout and what you're most excited for. We'll pick some winners as soon as that time rolls around. So much super cool stuff. Character creation is rolling on the screen right now. I hope you guys are excited. This is monumental. If you're pumped and want to see more Fallout 76, definitely hit that like button. Let me know what you're most excited for in the comments down below. If you've played the other Fallouts or if you're fresh to the series, I'd love to hear it. You guys ready for this? You ready? Here we go. From the beginning, Fallout 76 begins right about now.
War never changes. In 1776, this great nation accepted that armed conflict was the only way to preserve our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If our founding fathers could only see us now. From Antietam to Amiens, Okinawa to Anchorage, we have fought. And now, the Red Menace is at our doorstep. Democracy itself is under threat of annihilation. That is why today, July 4th, 2076, 300 years after our great nation began, we gather together to honor the completion of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault Tech, but it was built by you, the good people of America, so that if the bombs do come, if the end does come, our way of life will endure. But not everyone will be saved. Those chosen to enter this vault must be our best and our brightest. For when the fighting is stopped and the fallout has settled, you must rebuild. Not just walls, not just buildings, but hearts and minds, and ultimately, America itself. So as we stand here today, we pray that the world will know peace. But if that is not our destiny, if war must come, we stand together knowing that here in Vault 76, our future begins.
I love that intro so much. We pray for peace, but if war is to come, our future begins in Vault 76.
Good morning, Vault 76. This is the Overseer. I hope you all enjoyed the party last night, even those who may have overindulged and overslept.
We're ready to rock and roll, and we're going to pick up character creation from where the intro stopped. So we went through some different options of hair and faces, and now we're trying to build our character. And you'll see that it's pretty nuanced here. You can just mess with individual facial features. You can mess with ears and cheekbones and the upper lip and the lower lip and the forehead and obviously the eyes and the different colors of hair and colors of eyes and all this stuff. A pretty cool character creator. I think it's one of Bethesda's best. We wake up into this world where the bombs have dropped, the Red Menace has come and went, and now we have a wild wasteland of West Virginia to waltz through with others and with ourselves. As I mentioned, we're going to get some multiplayer, we're going to get some solo action here, little bit of everything as the morning sun rises and our character takes shape. I thought that it was pretty cool how you could go piece by piece here, and I didn't want to spend tons of time. They were joking. They're like, you could spend all of your time in character creation if you want. We don't care. Go as far as you want. Go as little as you want. I was like, okay, I can only spend about 2 minutes in character creation. I got to get out to the world and see what's going on. Vault 76 is where it begins for everyone. This is the special vault that starts things off, and it's a really interesting setup. You're going to walk through kind of an initiation to the game and to the world. I think it's really good. Fallout's always done a fantastic job with these sorts of intros. I think they nail like making you feel like, okay, it's a tutorial, but it's also the tutorial of the person you'd be in the game. Like, they are coming into this for the first time themselves. We've got our body slider here, muscular, thin, large. You can mess with all of this. You can play the game in first or third person. I'm going to spend about 98% of my time in first person because that's just how Fallout, I think, is meant to be played. But you can switch to third person. It's a little bit awkward. The shooting doesn't feel as nice and normal. But you can do that if that's kind of your shtick. We're going to name our character Ghost Robo, just so I knew and just so I know what's up. Also, that's my name, so it kind of fits. It makes sense. And then the photo mode activates. So you can mess with this as much as you want. There's all sorts of sliders and filters and little details if you want to play around here. I know that was huge. I mean, it's been huge, I guess, this whole year, right? Like God of War and Spider-Man, but I just wanted to get on with it. So welcome to the vault. This is our room. It's a very nice room. Got a guitar, got a computer, got some magazines, and they kick it off with the ability to play a holotape. And so if you want to just sit here and chill and not face the fears that lurk beyond, we can play Nuka Tapper and get a little retro gaming action in early on. I thought this was pretty freaking cute, that this is just like, hey, it's your room. You don't have to leave. Maybe you don't want to. I definitely wanted to. Okay, we're going to quit that game quick and get on with it. It's been a party. Reclamation Day has arrived. They actually threw us a Reclamation Day party. It was pretty sweet in West Virginia. If you haven't seen that, I posted a vlog just of all the stuff Bethesda did. They like went above and beyond to immerse us in the world of Fallout. We grab our Pit-Boy, locked and loaded, and I think you'll be, I don't know if you'll be surprised, but you'll notice like how much this game is like Fallout 4 as we go through it, with obviously upgrades, improvements, changes to fit what they wanted for 76. But you'll definitely sniff out a lot of nostalgia and a lot of what made that game click here. We've got a nice shower. Let's activate the shower. Make sure it works. It's not shooting out radiated water. It's not shooting out, you know, anything super creepy. There are other people walking around, you can see. We got some emotes that show there are more of us.
You have been tasked with nothing less than the rebuilding of America.
How sweet of the Overseer. You've been tasked with nothing less than the rebuilding of America. There's a garden gnome along for the ride, and all sorts of Vault Boys saying, go this way. Now remember, Fallout 76 is weird because there are no NPCs in the game, but they get around this a couple of ways. One, the Overseer will speak to you as the voice of God, and two, apparently robots don't count as NPCs. Apparently non-playable robots, NPRs, are allowed in the game. So there will be those. They will give you quests. They will say hello, and they add life to the world. I was shocked how little I noticed that there weren't other people. I mean, there's other people. Like, there's other players. Everybody you see will be an actual person on the server. But it's interesting how they manage the story. You'll see more of that as we go. All right. So we're looking to discover the Overseer's mission. And along the way, we are going to play hopscotch and just learn about the game. So obviously, you need your Rad-X, you need your purified water, because there is a hunger and a thirst meter. So you're going to need to maintain those, and I'd say they're pretty easy to manage. I did not have them go low the entire time I played. I was never really worried about it. It's something that you need to, like, monitor, I guess, as sort of a tertiary or even a 6th, 7th, 8th priority, but it's not going to affect you or offend you, unless that's something you want, unless you wanted to be really survivally about it. But, like, yeah, you got to click the buttons to feed yourself some water and some food, but it's really not a huge deal. Stim packs are a huge deal, though, and apparently you will load up on them early, as I do. Yeah, always stay stocked. But I learned from the developers that I got to talk to that if you blow them all early in your opening hours, you're gonna be screwed. So don't do that. Even if you feel inclined to just like pop the stim packs like there's some sort of Pez, please don't. Leave that head on the Pez container and say, I'm gonna save you for later. Alright, so we've got our first crafting items. That's obviously going to be important. Some raw cloth, some steel, some wood. And here we are going to see our quick menu, which is very nice. We have emotes, and you can join up on a team. You can say hello. You can... Apparently this one's like I'm crazy. It kind of looked more like I had to poop, but that's okay. There are no bathrooms in the world of Fallout. That's not something you will have to maintain. But you can throw up. You also can get diseases, which I contract later on. It's pretty exciting. And I also was really curious about, and I'm sure you're curious about, like, how does multiplayer work? How necessary is it? How do the quests go with it? It's interesting. Sometimes I think it's harder with others. Sometimes I think it's better with others, but it's definitely not necessary. You can totally rock and roll by yourself if you want and be a lone survivor, which I think is a huge perk of the game. Like, quite literally, I think that's like, I'm so glad they put that in there. So if you want to experience this as just like the next Fallout with online additives, you can. Alright, so we still have a few more doors to go to. We can close this one if we just wanted to sit in here. But again, I'm determined to exit the vault and see what the world has to offer. It's a bright, big, bold, beautiful tomorrow. And the projector may be teaching us a little bit of logic. The lamp illuminating a teensy bit of our future. This personal terminal giving a final notice. If anyone is found accessing this terminal is not a member... Okay. Correspondence, missing Nuka-Cola Cherry. Goodness gracious. Just because we're leaving doesn't give any of you the right to steal from my stash of Nuka-Cola Cherry. I don't think I found Nuka-Cola ever. Every freaking machine was empty. What gives? West Virginia not getting the restocks that I would have liked. I don't know if it's just that rare. I was just looking in the wrong spots, but pretty crazy. Okay, let's get a job. What kind of job you guys want? Gonna be a murder machine. Gonna be a writer. Gonna be a lawyer. Probably would like a perk card. Let's grab our first perk card and see what's up with it. Our first level, moving right along, and we get to pick our first special. So every category begins with 1 point. And then you can add intelligence so that you're better able to hack terminals. You can add agility so you get more action points. You can grab some luck so you get a little bit of the good stuff everywhere. Perception, obviously strength, being able to carry and melee weapons. Perception, accuracy in V.A.T.S. V.A.T.S is super interesting. Did you know V.A.T.S is in the game? You probably did. I think that's going to be one of the most divisive things. We'll have to see how it works. Where do I want to go with my first point? Charisma is recommended early if you want to team up a lot. But I'm going to grab a little bit of V.A.T.S action because now I can target limbs. That's the first perk card you get if you are going to put your points into perception. So it allows you to target limbs instead of just a big old blob target, which I think is super important. If you're going to ever mess with V.A.T.S, you kind of need this one. I think. Probably. We'll see. Alright, so I got my first job. Apparently it's to shoot things. That's a fine job. I'm level 2. Cute little posters all over. Pick a job that's special to you. Build a house. Carry a doctor's bag. Workbench. Sticker. Alright, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. But I do love this intro a lot. I think this is really fun. Vault Boy says, keep moving, my friend. And we can see, we got our first glimpse of the exit of the vault. There it is, the big door, the big world, the music cues, and I am ready to waltz past Alderton and say, good riddance, good robots. I'm ready to go. And as the door is opening, we gotta quickly check here and make sure there's no goodies. There's a security terminal, but we don't need to really mess with that because the security is clearly lax. They're just letting us out. As they should, right? You ready for this? Step into the world for the first time. 4 times as big as Fallout 4, apparently. Alderton, he's speechless. He's like, you gotta see it to believe it, baby. So let's step into the great, big, beautiful beyond and hit our first load screen. Round of applause for reaching the load screen. It's a golf clap. This is a moment for us here. We're level 2. We reached the load screen. And from here, now things get wacky. That's basically like everybody has to go through Vault 76, right? But now, you can just run helter-skelter if you want. You don't have to do anything they say. From now till the day they shut it down, Reclamation Day has been completed. There are other people around. I'm joining a squad, accepting an invite, and hooking up with a team. I got to play in a group of 4 with a BGS master who kind of helped lead the way and show us the ropes here in Fallout 76. I think the world is pretty. I know some people have said like, oh, it doesn't look like as good as it could. I think it looks great. The fact that it's going to be like online and stuff, I don't know. I'm tough to please, but visuals were not something that bothered me. Now, this is not the final version, so there will be some like frame issues and hitching and stuff that they're going to try and fix. Will they? How smooth will it be? I don't know. That's like just so up in the air. But if you do notice like frame stuff, they told us that it was going to be worked on. Eating is obviously good, and flowers, while a little bit tart to the tongue, they can give you the nutrients that you need. Mama said be resourceful, and that's what I'm going to do. And that means just literally grabbing absolutely everything. Cooking pots, concrete blocks, and watching everybody waltz around and wander. We're having a little get-together up here. People trying to figure out where they're going to go, what they're going to do. We have emerged, and we're ready for it. Come and get it. Remember, there's not like hundreds of people on these servers. It's pretty limited. So you'll see people frequently, and they can mess with you. They can try and really F with your day. But I just need to prep myself. I need to make sure that I'm ready for whatever wickedness is out there. I've got my first gun. This is good. I believe that the loot is instanced. So the loot that I see and the loot that you see, we can both get the loot, and sometimes it might be different. Obviously, there are some things that are just standard. People are already firing guns crazily, so clearly I'm not the only one that grabbed it off this guy's body. It's already getting to be just a big open range. Home on the range, country roads, and also a whole lot of handymen.
I found this holotape on the Overseer's terminal. Gave a little listen. Seems you should meet her at her camp, just down the road.
Alright, so...
The Overseer said she'd set up her camp down the road.
Yeah?
To the south.
Wonderful. Alright, so... They do kind of guide you early on, at least to the first town. It feels like a... I don't want to say it's mandatory, but it felt like I really should go on this. It felt like I should really do this. Throw in some stuff in my quick inventory. I don't know if I'll need it all. I don't know if I'll use it, but given the online nature of this game, I wanted to just put a bunch of stuff there on that quick wheel, if I could. I got 12 bullets. I don't know how rare bullets are. I don't know how hard they are to come by. I feel slightly nervous just to blow these. But hey, we get a little note. Paul, I need you to make the monthly scouting run to Vault 76. Psycho, machete, money. And we get our first little tooltip about chems as we grab the Psycho. My AP going Psycho. Was Post Malone talking about Fallout? Will we ever know for sure? He apparently really likes the game. I think he was. I think he's cool like that. Oh, dang. Our first villain. And our first chance to use V.A.T.S. Now, you'll notice that dudes move in V.A.T.S. now. V.A.T.S. doesn't stop nothing. And that's why I think V.A.T.S. is real freaking weird. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not using V.A.T.S. Like, I tried to use it just to be, like, I don't know, to be, like, Fallout style, I guess. It did not feel that great. I think the shooting is good enough. Like, they improved with 4 and maybe even better here. It feels totally great just to aim and fire. V.A.T.S. is, I guess, helpful if either you don't want to aim, you can't aim, or you want to track the enemies around. Like, if there is a situation with a bunch of guys, then maybe V.A.T.S. is helpful. But it's so freaking weird to V.A.T.S. it up when things are still moving and you're trying to target limbs, but you're not really targeting because you're not really... You know what I'm saying? It's like fake aiming. There's a fox. Probably shouldn't shoot him, although he looks really sad. Just a little... Oh, okay, alright. Burning bullets. Who needs them? Squirrels, foxes. What's up, my dudes? See what I mean? Like, it's just odd. It's an odd feeling because it moves around like that. So, yeah, I think in groups, maybe, like, big enemy groups, you want to specifically target somebody and you're getting overwhelmed or you're, like, you need to really manage your health. Because it does kind of slow things down, but it's not stopping. So it's just, like, a weird thing to get used to, if you want to get used to it at all. Like, I don't think I will. I think I'll just stick to the normal firing. But it's actually a pretty big jaunt down here to the first little bit of action. Like, you kind of have this little playground if you want to mess around with the wildlife. You want to just, like, burn some bullets. You want to, you know, wander, test the water, see the sights. Maybe it's a good meeting point. Vault 76 obviously is the start, and it is your first fast travel point. So it's one that you can use to sort of mitigate distances around the map. Once you get to places, you can fast travel for caps, and you can also fast travel your team. So I think, honestly, the biggest benefit to me of being in a group was probably the fast travel capabilities. But you'll see why later. Alright, they already took down the mongrel. And we've got Geralt the Brave over here. Geralt the Brave. It's been a long time since I played Witcher. Geralt the Brave. Guys, I just stepped out of a vault. What do you expect, man? Come on. It's been a long time. But, dude, this character, whoever made this, it does look a lot like Geralt. They popped it. So, apparently, we're good to go. And we grabbed a little bit more. We got this pipe revolver to go with our pipe pistol. We got our machete. We have a baseball grenade. And if we want to go melee, that's probably a smooth move early on, just because you do want to conserve bullets, and melee will be helpful. But we'll jump our way down to the Overseer's camp. That's what we're looking for currently. Pretty serene, right? Like, it starts off nice. I like that you can hear positionally, like, what's going on. And there will be that sort of, like, whatever you want to call it, positional or localized voice chat and audio in the game, which I think is going to make things real interesting and real fun. With, like, a server of people you know and people you don't know, and people probably role-playing and doing all sorts of weird stuff. At least I hope. At least I hope they get crazy with it. The Wixen Homestead. I think I was also, like, surprised by, like, how much I just felt like at home in terms of, like, it just feels Fallout. Like, if you've played Fallout, especially 4, like, you just kind of, like, slide right into it, you know? And for some people, I think that'll be like, ew, I wanted something brand spanking new. But for most people, I think you'll find it really comforting that you don't have to worry about, like, a whole lot of, like, the actual mechanics. It's just kind of like you get to focus on the big world and the big amount of content that's here. My machete is looking like a futuristic robot sword. I'm feeling those vibes. A little bit of rust too if I want to inflict extra pain. Nobody deserves it. Some people might need it. Talking about the rust, that is. This guy's already taken damage. Whoever you are. Now, there is a workbench here where we can start to craft stuff. Ammo, grenades, mines. There are also places to craft armor and craft weapons. This is going to be a big part of your life in 76. Although I will say I didn't find it that necessary, at least early. Like, you'll find enough stuff. So if you don't want to mess with crafting, you don't have to. It was very helpful for armor. I think that's kind of where it was most useful, was getting me a basic set of armor early. Got that revolver, got the machete, we ready to go. Double trouble, 2 for 1. Got them at distance, got them up close. It's like good cop, bad cop. Kiss him with the rust, blow him away with the pipe revolver. I like it. Nuka-Cola, hey, guess what? It's empty. Fridges are not full in this game, but I did get a plan for a grenade. And you'll find a lot of plans, which obviously expand your opportunities at these workbenches. Scrapping items is very important. So anytime you have an opportunity, you're going to want to just dump your junk. You can go through individually, but I found just like dumping the junk was really great. And it's going to throw more materials into your inventory and then allow you to craft if you want. I think the crafting benches are one at a time. I think you can mess with the inventory. There's third person for you for a quick little bit. But I think that the benches are like one per whatever, so you kind of have to like wait for those if you want. Throwing on my party hat. I saw someone else had a party hat. I was like, dude, I gotta throw that on. Got my glasses, got my hat. This will be weapons. I can't build anything but throwing knives right now. I just figure I should probably save my steel. I could use it. I don't know. We'll probably get a lot. But that is one thing that I don't... It's hard to grasp. It's like the economy of... Like how rare and how prevalent bullets are, stim packs are, junk is. Like supposedly they load you up early, which I guess is a good thing. But if it's going to then get really... If it's going to drop off quickly, I don't know. It might skew your... Like how you feel you can play. It might mess you up for later because like I quickly acquired, I remember I quickly acquired 17 stim packs as we take a quick look at the map here. But then like after a while, like the stim pack gold mine dried up and like Santa's stim packs like definitely went south for the winter. The map doesn't seem that big, but it actually is. So you're gonna look at it and it's pretty sparse in terms of like what's going on. We've got some Protectrons up here causing trouble. I don't know if I should engage. I have 21 shots in this revolver, but maybe I should keep that that lucky number for a blackjack later on. I'm actually gonna bail on these guys. They seem to hurt. I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, the map does have a lot, and I don't know like obviously over like 50 hours or whatever 100 hours if it's gonna feel like enough, but I think that the in-game experience is better than what the map shows. The map kind of looks like there's little things dotted around, but there's actually it's actually pretty full. But at the same time, some of those little things that it shows you on the map screen are hella cool, and you're definitely gonna want to explore. I take you to my favorite one at some point here. It's so cool. It blew me away. Alright, so we can just mess around for as long as we want, but I need to get to the Overseer's camp and at least advance this first contact a little bit. One, like, mainly because it's going to give you the XP you need to gain levels and gain perk points, or special points and perk cards. Got a little hut here, but this is not the hut we seek. A little bird house, but that's not the house I need. It's frankly too small. I can't fit. Maybe my pinky, but that's about it. At this point, I was like, what is going on? I'm gonna use fast travel. We're gonna see how that works out. So we got these people here. They're all chilling at the Overseer's camp. I'm like, all right, I gotta get to them. So let's highlight somebody. I couldn't make my way there myself, but I think a fast travel will probably be a better bet. So I gotta grab a little guy, not the mission marker. And if we can do it, can you do it, Zach? Do you have the skills? Not even to pay the bills, but just to get past this moment. There we go. Fast travel. Beautiful. Alright, cool. So you get to see your little Vault-Tec card. Now I'm regretting not spending more time on the photo. But I think that's pretty cool. We played on, I don't know if I mentioned this, we played on Xbox One X. But I thought that load time on the fast travel, pretty great. And this is the Overseer's camp, and there's goodies to grab. So we'll get the log.
South of Vault 76.
And a whole bunch of other stuff.
I knew this wasn't going to be the Appalachia I remembered, but... Mutated animals? Haywire plots? No people so far. We have to be ready to rebuild in... what I can confirm is... hostile territory. Fortunately, Vault-Tec was prepared. You see this? The cooking station, the stash box, the workbenches, all built with the camp. You need a home base out there. The construction and assembly mobile platform is designed to give you one. Just add resources, planning, and a little elbow grease. When you move your camp, everything you've built is stored, ready to be placed back down in the new area. Use this to establish a foothold whenever you're in unfamiliar territory. I've left my camp behind so you can use it. I know I'm breaking my own advice by not taking it with me. But after seeing Appalachia for myself, I need to make sure every resident of 76 has a safe haven they can start from. I'll make do without it. If it's still standing, the town of Flatwoods is further down this road. Find me there. This is the Overseer, signing off.
Thank you, Overseer. And the camp's like... to me, the main purpose is allowing you to craft, scrap, and sort of improve your wares. Base building is something that I feel odd about. And I don't know if everyone feels this way or if it's just me. But... like, to me, the camp is much more about these stations than anything else. I'll say that. We have a Tinker's Workshop here, which is, again, going to give us more of the ammunition-style stuff. A very cool poster. Communism is coming. And a creepy, huge spider. Again, the Weapons Workshop is here. They're also just, like, these, like, thrown around. So if you don't want to, like, mess with your own camp, if you don't want to mess with that, like, there are enough benches I found in the world that you don't even have to really worry. There's a chemistry station as well if you want to start cooking. And a stash box. So stash box is cool. You put stuff in there, and then anytime you find a stash box at one of these sort of base areas or your own camp, then you can access stuff from it. So it's like you can throw stuff in, and it's like a Harry Potter magic box. You can grab it from anywhere. I've got my armor. Let's equip some of that. I think the game wants me to craft something, and now I do have more gear, as you see, or more resources, so I can make stuff. A syringer I found to be like a really funny weapon, firing empty syringes. That sounds healthy. Then you have these pipe pistols. Now, obviously you're going to expand well beyond pipe-type weapons as you go, and quests will give you like super cool guns. World events will give you super cool guns. You might find some super cool guns, and then obviously you'll get plans to craft. But first, guys, musical break. Come on now. This is West Virginia. We just got done vaulting it up forever. Let's enjoy some tunes. Also, apparently, if you play music long enough, you get a boost. Which I think is pretty clever. You can just sit here all day if you wanted. Who needs to fight when you can make music? Remember, when the music hits, you feel no pain. So, if you want to stay away from the violence... Okay, we should probably stop. We should probably... I'm just too into it. I'm too into it. I'm the next Whiplash baby, but on the guitar. Okay, let's get out of here. That's enough of that nonsense. It's enough of that nonsense. And away we go. Alright, so the Overseer will speak to you through those, like, whatever you want, like audio logs, and that's actually how most of the story is told, through audio logs. And if you're playing with friends, I could see, like, the audio logs kind of getting drowned out. So I guess you kind of have to decide, like, how important is the story to you? Because there can be information overload just because it's not structured in the same linear way as a single-player game, that, like, a lot of things can happen at once. The Overseer can be talking, you can be fighting, people can be around, you can be picking up other quests, you can be using different machinery. So it's interesting, just, like, I don't know, I found myself wanting to mitigate, and, like, when I want to do a better job of actually paying attention to the story and making sure I isolate myself so that I can pay attention to the story. This is a level 60 dude who showed up and said, hello, I've got a whole lot of goodies if you want to take a look. You can trade with people, of course. He's got baseball grenades. He's got a drill. He's got these, like, super cool guns. He wasn't willing to give up his hunting rifle, unfortunately, even though those look pretty sexy. So I think all I'm going to get from him is the baseball grenade. Does have some interesting armor. And one thing that's nice is, like, the armor is all external, so it goes on the outside of, like, armor or whatever. I guess, like, power armor. So you can visually always look however you want, and that's not going to... Like, you don't need to prioritize... I guess what I'm trying to say is, cosmetics are allowed over, like, armor, and therefore you don't have to prioritize stats over looks. You can have both. And from here, like, the whole world is open to you. There's no real pathing. Like, obviously you can continue this first contact, and it's supposedly, like, recommended that you follow it to a certain point, which we'll get to in this video. But this is the Green Country launch, and now things are starting to feel even more legit. It's just like a huge Fallout world, guys. Got some caps. Welcome to Capland. Thank you for a few. There is an opossum, aka possum, and I did V.A.T.S him for a kill. So V.A.T.S isn't entirely useless, I guess. It's probably going a little too far, but I just like aiming and shooting. I like aiming and shooting a lot. There is a rad roach in here. Ooh, there's a whole lot. We got a mole rat coming at us, doing dances as he dies. We got another. Oh wow. They be fierce, and now I'm in a radiated pool. Not how I wanted to spend my first afternoon, mole rats. And I can't even jump out. Oh my god. My skin is gonna boil. I'm done for. I'm gonna taste like a burnt banana. This is not good. Look what happened to that guy when he got stuck there. Thankfully for us, there's stairs. And we will utilize those to the best of our advantage. The bus stop is empty. The lighting is definitely, like, solid. I thought the lighting was really pretty throughout the game. There obviously is, like, a day-night cycle, but, like, you get some real, like, nice fall vibes here. The leaves are pretty, the buildings are a little bit wrecked, but the lighting is very nice. Not going in there, but this is a place where the Overseer thought people would come. Now, remember, everyone's, like, dead. So the NPCs that we find are going to be dead, or like their soul will be captured via audio logs, like this one.
My God, there's no one here. The old tavern, the church, people were using them for shelter, but gone. Mutations we expected, but there's something else. A disease. I was attacked by... Well, it used to be a person. But it had these green, glowing lesions, and its voice. Angry, tortured. We are one. One what? Whatever happened here is beyond anything we expected. And we expected a lot. Before they were wiped out, the survivors called themselves the Responders.
Okay, so basically,
hey, volunteer.
Bob here wants to sell us stuff, and the Overseer wants us to become a volunteer. The first responders that were the kind individuals that I guess gritted through the brunt of the nuclear fallout, they have left behind a path for us to follow, per se. They have left behind this volunteer track that we are going to try and trek. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can accidentally cut off a lot of these story bits. And I think the Overseer was just about done. But if you do want to hear everything, you're going to have to be careful, or at least vigilant about, like, following that lore and that story hardcore. Alright. Unlocked a new photo frame, which is interesting. And now I need to do a little bit of thirst things first. I'm looking for a specific survivor, Kesha McDermott, who we're going to find in the directory. And we need to locate her. Obviously, she's going to be dead because there are no NPCs. But the Overseer also started to mention something, and I think she gave you the first hint of the Scorched, which are a new enemy type in Fallout, a new race, a new breed. And apparently the Scorched actually play a major, humongous role in the overall and, like, main plot line throughout the game. So pay attention to them. They have a hive mind, as you heard from the Overseer, like, we are one. And they kind of behave a little bit like ghouls, but they're different. They're Scorched. And like I said, they're like story, lore, reason for existence, and what they mean to the world is apparently very important.
Help! Someone please help me! Please let me out! Please! Please! I'm begging you! Don't leave me here! Please!
This is like torturous and also terrible at the same time. This dude was left in the fridge, which I think is like a good place to sit if a bomb's coming, maybe. If Indiana Jones taught me anything. But also, like, being locked in a fridge sounds like a horrible way to go. And I think this guy died in the fridge. We did get a point, though. Alright, so he's got savings up there, which is nice. If we want to grab his little stash. I did grab Action Girl, which is going to help our AP. And we'll throw that card onto Agility. Those special points in those cards are going to start coming rapidly. I believe it's level 4 where we get a card pack. And then things really start kicking into gear. Now, I am going to enter this trailer and find someone kind of out of order here, which it doesn't screw things up, it just got a little confusing. All of these things, though, robbing this home of their TV dinner trays and their tall glasses and their pencils and their books. A lot of good junk for future crafting, future projects, future arts and crafts. But this is Reverend Delbert Winderts.
Born and raised in this very town. Met my own church to the responders for their outpost here, and you're welcome. The responders are on a true mission, you see, helping folks through thick and thin, till the heavens open up again and take us all up anyways. When this all happened, I figured like most it was time. This was the end, but it wasn't, was it? We're still here. At first, I thought it was a mistake, that we was missed, forgotten. Maybe we did some wrong. Didn't give enough to charity, maybe. Didn't praise his name, even in the worst of times. Maybe thought some things that ought not to have been thought. So I asked how? Why? I fought
Alright.
wars on...
Enough of the Reverend. We gotta test the water. That's the main goal here, is we gotta boil some water to prove that we can be a volunteer in this world.
I was in Watoga, coordinating the statewide science fair for that year's high school kids. And the theme was the future of energy. After the bombs, everything was pretty chaotic. Scavenging for food, fighting off rabid survivors. Oh, it was just a bad time all around. found a couple of surviving kids from the high school whose parents didn't make it. We holed up in a house in town for a while. After a bit, I was able to solder the circuitry in an old radio, and we tuned into a broadcast from the responders. Oh, we were overjoyed. The trip from Watoga to Flatwoods, it was rough, mind you. The kids and I ran into a group of assholes in the mountains who stole our food and water. I can't tell you how happy I was to find the responders in Flatwoods. Tents for everyone, open kitchens, medical supplies, protection. We were safe. They had a problem, though. Their water sources were contaminated heavily. People were boiling water, but not long enough to make it safe. So, I stepped up and I said, I'll build a testing kit to monitor the contamination, and I will teach folks how to properly boil water. And I did. The world is getting better, but slowly. We need to make sure it doesn't relapse, too. It's going to take time and care, that's all. Well, time, care, and science.
The science of the quest system here is a little interesting because there are so many markers on your map. It can be on your like mini directional bar thingamabob. It can be tricky at times to know exactly like what you're following, which quest you're following, because you can, as you probably expect, you can track a lot of quests at once. So you got your main quest, you got your side quests, you got your teammates, you got interesting locations, and it can be a bit like information overload and overwhelm of like, where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to be aiming? What am I actually walking towards on my mini-map? I mean, you've got diamonds and stars, moving dots, houses, markers. Like, it's a little bit like, okay, so the star is my main quest, I believe, because if you look at those things first, it says the star, but the actual star is pointing towards the self-serve kiosk, whereas the diamonds, I believe, are pointing towards my current mission objective within the star quest, which is to get water from this pump. I need to collect the water from the pump. I already collected the sample from the river. I needed a pump sample, so now I can go and test it and grab my boiled water and get on with it. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's just like, okay, so the star is the ultimate point in the quest. The diamond is sort of the current one, and I just found that to be a little confusing. Honestly, like, if I had, like, my biggest, like, was, I felt like this was a little jumbly. And it becomes, I think, more jumbly when you're playing with other people, and they're moving through the missions as well, and you're not really sure, like, who needs to do what. Like, okay, I saw someone here, so I was here, but I actually get the other sample and come back and then analyze the sample before I go and actually cook it all. So I don't know. It might take a little bit of time to get used to, and maybe it just felt overcomplicated to me. But like, I play video games every day of my life, and following mini-maps is pretty darn simple. But it just felt a little cumbersome here, so I wanted to point that out. We're gonna join. Well, Nukem Dukem's joining, but we're gonna head up to the cooking station, grab our boiled water, and now check into the self-serve kiosk to say, hey, we're cool. We can get clean water. We are definitely a worthwhile addition to your volunteer squad, and we can help this world go round. Or at least go rumbly-tumbly down the hill towards an eventual doom. But we're gonna, we might be able to give it a push. We might be able to give it a push. And from here, we're gonna check in, check our status, complete the challenge, reach level 4, unlock the perk card pack. Things are looking up. Things are looking way, way up. And now they want us to find Delbert, the Reverend, who believe that maybe our lack of godliness is what caused this. But we've already found him, so we kind of already made a little bit of progress in that way. We'll just have to go back and kind of like tap it to complete it. But we did already get stuff off his body. And we already did hear his spiel. So, out of order, that's what when I was talking about, that's what I meant. Got some rewards. There's some new plans, and you will get simple rewards for some quests. But then there are, like I mentioned, like bigger quests or harder quests or world events that like reward you in really cool ways with weapons, armor, and other items that you will learn to love. Alright, we get a perk pack. It comes with 4 cards and some gum. I think it's so freaking cool that they include gum. We got Pharmacist, Hard Bargain, First Aid. Our rare is the Green Thumb. And then our gum joke is, hear about the man who stole a calendar? He got 12 months. I actually, I'm not gonna lie, kind of chuckled at that one. Thought it was pretty cool. So we've got Strength, Perception. And what's nice is you can pick one of these, look at the cards that will be unlocked, and then go back if you don't like what you see. So they do give you the flexibility to explore without committing, and I really love that. I think that's super cool. So you don't have to feel like you're losing out. You know, you can see, okay, there's Hacker, there's Makeshift Warrior, you know, I got my First Aid card already, and it kindly shows you, like, okay, I already own a First Aid because I just opened it in the pack. Iron Stomach is a new one there, Lead Belly. Now, certain cards are worth more points, so we've seen all level 1 cards thus far, which is 1 card for 1 perk point, or 1 perk card for 1 special point. But eventually you will get cards that may be worth 2 or 3, and you need that many special points to include that card. You can also double up on cards if you want to increase their efficiency and effectiveness. There also are cards that have level requirements. So you'll notice, I believe the Hard Bargain card that I got in the pack has a level requirement, and like you can't, even if you have the special points to equip it, you can't utilize until you reach a certain level. Alright, let's make a decision here. Lone Wanderer is a really good perk that is going to give you 10% less damage and a 10% AP regen bonus when you are solo. It does require 2 points, but I'm willing to take it because I know I'm going to be spending some time solo. Yeah, you can see Hard Bargain is locked in there, and now we have more cards than we know what to do with, which means this is good for 2 reasons. 1, we have choices, and 2, all of those special categories that just have 1 point and we didn't pick, well, now we got some cards that we can throw in there, because technically those do have a stat value of 1, and they can hold a card. We just didn't have any because you get the perk card for the special that you pick. So that's actually really good to get the pack there at level 4. You're going to be able to, you know, employ a lot more cards and gain a lot more benefits from your stats once you start acquiring a larger set of cards. Alright, drinking some boiled water. As you can see, my thirst meter was, I wouldn't say low, but it was beginning to dwindle. So I wanted to fill that up, grab a little food as well, and we're good to go. We're basically perfect. A little bit of radiation on our health bar, but not much for me to even feel like it needs to be addressed. Let's go in here and tap on the Reverend. We've already seen him. We'll take his burnt textbook, his throwing knife, and hi, search for training instructions around Delbert's house. Okay, we've got more volunteer instructions on his terminal. Get some meat from one of the local cows, toss it in the fire until it stops oozing. That's disgusting. Oozing meat. One of the wonders of West Virginia. Super gross. Side note, the food I had while in West Virginia was all really good. Peaches and cream. New secret favorite simple dessert. Didn't know I loved it. Didn't know it even qualified as dessert. It's super good. It's super freaking good. Okay, so we gotta cook a ribeye steak here. I do have some meat, but it's not the meat that I seek. I need specifically ribeye steak, and the optional part of this quest is actually, for me, required because I don't already have it. I can't take that stew pot. It's not the one that's part of the station. Hey, who needs steel? Probably everyone. So now I gotta just follow the markers, and the map can become, like the actual map can become helpful because you can kind of highlight everything that's going on. There are world events, defend Sunshine Farms, get a piece of Brahmin meat, and you can kind of figure out exactly where you need to go and more specifically target where you're trying to walk to or run to. I just need to go get my little meat so I can make my ribeye steak. The world event is taking place. There are world events that randomly spawn. They do give you cool rewards. Often they are the places where I found you'll need the most help from your friends or foes, I guess, just anybody that wants to drop in. Because for the most part, the encounters you walk through or come up against in the main quest are doable, at least I found, one-on-one. It's those world events and those bigger, like, defend the area, wave-type battles that you might want a second pair of eyes and, more importantly, hands/guns to help combat and deal with. Alright, so we're on fertile soil here.
To all responders. The Mr. Farmhands are out of control. Evacuate civilians and take down those supervisors. Once they're dealt with, you'll have to reboot the server. Again.
Alright, so this is super nice because they've already taken down, randoms have already taken down 2 of the 3 farmhand supervisors. So I just need to get in here and try and contribute. I could just hang tight and just watch, but that would be kind of boring. There's a Mr. Farmhand up top. Get a nice little shot there and send him a flying. That was not a supervisor. That was just a helper, but hey, at least we did play a part and help this event so I don't feel like I'm just stealing rewards. Seems like there's a lot going on here. It's another Mr. Farmhand. I need the supervisor, though. There's more liberators. A lot of liberators, actually.
Automated message. Watch detects all supervisors down. Good job.
Alright, so the supervisors have been taken down.
Get to the mainframe. You need to reset the farmhand targeting parameters. That should keep our people safe in the area. Be careful.
So apparently Maria is dead, I guess? Oh, our first encounter with Scorch. Okay, I told you about these guys. These are the Scourge of the Scorch that play a very important role. They have a hive mind behavior and mentality. They're pretty easy to kill, but they can come in droves. And I'm talking droves. There's a specific world event that I don't even want to mention because they... Dude, it is like if every Cheerio in the box hated you and wanted vengeance for the milk spill of 2007. They come hard, they come fast, and they come plenty. But we got to complete this world event. Just killing off the supervisors, or at least being a part of that combat, is not going to finalize things. We do have to, in Fallout style, go and do something else, which I thought was pretty cool. That the world events have a little bit more oomph to them, at least this one, and the ones I participated in. Like, we get to go enter this cool area and go underground after a stim pack usage and enter this agricultural research center to finish things off and reset the parameters. Now, it sounds like a freaking insane asylum in here. We've got more Mr. Farmhands. We've got, it looks like ghouls actually as well. Here's V.A.T.S, which just feels so weird to even press fire when the dudes are moving out of frame. But there's a lot of nastiness up here, so we're gonna contribute, grab some kills, and we're already pushing our level 4 closer and closer to level 5. Ooh, weak trail ghoul getting melee messed up, and that's good. I can grab the goodies off of these farmhands that I killed and that my friends killed. Another overseer entry. And this one starts a side quest called Personal Matters. Find the Overseer's personal journals. This is kind of like a perma quest that is going to progress throughout our progression, if you will. Alright. So we need to find a computer, a terminal, something to change the farmhand's targeting parameters so that they don't mess with us. At first I thought this was changing their perimeters so that they just like, hey guys, monitor a different region, not the one we're in. Empty Nuka-Cola, take note. But it's actually changed the parameters so that they don't target live humans anymore. Which is great, because there's only a few of us, and we should probably try and make us last. You stupid freaking farmhands. How are we going to attend to the farm if we're not alive? They probably are like, robots can do it. Nah, fam. That's not how it works. Okay, so these are the farmhands. I'm trying to find my diamonds. It says I'm 1 meter away, but it's probably on a different level. It sure seems like it. That's back to the Appalachia, aka West Virginia. I need to find a way. Yes, here we go. Alright. Staircase, staircase. What do we see? A lower floor, a terminal for me. Alright, dead scientist, tool chest, and a chance to reset the parameters. Alright, remove the human class from their targeting. That's what I was talking about. We're good, so that is complete. The event is now in the books, and we should get rewarded with XP and goodies. Trick or treat, I'd like both. Purified water, some rounds, a recipe, and some fertilizer. It's not the greatest amount of goodies, but we did get to come across these feral ghouls. We will melee them, steal their yarn. The heck do you think this is? Sewing club? Get out of here, crowned feral ghoul. You don't stand a chance against my rusty sword. And we also get to grab some firecat mushrooms, which could come in handy later on. So, first world event in the books. U.S. government supply requisition is grabbed, and that actually activates a new quest for a government airdrop. And now things are starting to pile on. We're picking up the quest. Obviously, we're following the Overseer's path, but we rocking and rolling with other options as well. And as I said, you can go do whatever. I could just bail right now and go check out that government drop. I could continue on the Overseer's quest. I could just go mess around in different parts of the map and grab more quests, different quests, whatever I wanted to do. I'm curious how many people will follow the main path and for how long. Like, server-wise, obviously people will be like spread out just based on time. But like, how many people will deviate from the path really early versus like follow it? I guess it just depends how much you're going to treat it like a Fallout 4 type experience versus an online experience versus like solo linear versus like just mess around multiplayer. You know, you have options. Okay. So, I would say that we're approaching the end of what qualifies as the intro main quest. And it's really after we complete the volunteer process that things, to me, felt like I'm home free. I can do what I want now. You're almost level 5. You got a good supply of gear. You've seen, you know, a quest and you learned how to craft. You've participated in a world event. You've fought some dudes. You found some bodies. And you're kind of freaking ready to go. Taking in the sights of the night. It's quiet. It's spooky. There's a tiny bit of fright. I do wonder if they're gonna do like cool, like events, not world events like what we just saw, but more like, hey, it's Halloween, we've got an event, or like, hey, it's, you know, it's winter time, so we're gonna throw something cool like that in there. I wonder what they're gonna do with that, if anything. Maybe not. I don't know. It seems like it would be a missed opportunity if they skipped out on that. Okay, so we'll go check in with the self-service kiosk one more time so that we can complete second helpings and become an official volunteer. I feel like we're way more than a volunteer, but hey, if that's what they want to call us, labels mean nothing. I live with no labels. Congratulations, volunteer. You are awesome. Okay, so now you can contact the responders, the database, kind of move on and move wherever you want. And that's going to kind of bring our first full hour of Fallout 76 to a close. Let's contact the responders real quick. We'll log in. I'm a volunteer. Emergency contact. Challenge complete. We get some atoms, which are a very nice currency. Can be utilized later for purchases. And we're good to go. So we can listen to more of the Overseer. We can go to the relay tower. Second helpings is done. And like I said, this is sort of where it's like, now it's up to you. Where do we go from here? Well, I got a lot more to show you, so we're going to go to more Fallout 76. If you guys enjoyed, definitely let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of the game so far? How you feeling about it? Almost level 5, final departure. We are level 5. They want us to do an airport. We can grab an upgrade, and that is where we'll kind of begin next time. You guys ready for it? You want to see it? Should I play more? Should I bring you more? Are you pumped? Are you having fun? It was so exciting, and I just can't wait to see what you think as we continue. In the meantime, though, everybody, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. big, big, big thanks to all of you for supporting me throughout the years to make an opportunity like this possible. I wouldn't even know Bethesda. I wouldn't even be able to go play the game if it wasn't for you guys. So I owe you a lot. I appreciate you a lot. I had a ton of fun, and I'm going to keep that party going. So stay tuned for more videos. There's probably others up already. If you want to see my favorite place in the game, if you want to hear my overall impressions and more review style, check those videos out. I would love to see you over there. But for now, let me know what you think in the comments below. You can enter to win some freaking good Fallout stuff. And yeah, what do you think? That's it for now. Until next time, drink much, have a fantastic day. I love ya. And we will see you all later.